And we are back once again. Scott Cole, Nick Mazesco, and we are talking about the exciting, cannot wait for this year's Minnesota Vikings. Is it going to be enough for them to win the division? New head coach. They bring in Kevin O'Connell from the Rams, former coordinator. This division, besides the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, is not used to seeing a lot of high-powered offenses. They still got Kirk Cousins, but could that be enough to bring some excitement to the Vikings, Nick?
Could be. I think the important thing, I don't know if we've ever really said it, but the important thing about these shows that we do, we're not doing there's not like I don't have a sheet in front of me of all the research I've done. We're really looking at these with fresh eyes to sort of look at them as objectively as possible, as opposed to sitting and thinking them the whole time. So we literally come into them going, I don't know where I think the Vikings could be. We could get through the win-loss game and say the Vikings are a 7-win team and go, well, we thought they had a chance to win the division, but they don't. You don't know until you do it. I'm taking a look at some of their stuff. We got some stuff to talk about, Scott.
We do. It's the Purple People Eaters. I love those uniforms. Yes. It is the Minnesota Vikings coming up next. They do not have an elite quarterback. He is not elite, Kirk Cousins, but he will get the job done. And that's what they need in this division. I think the best player they have on offense is Dalvin Cook. I think he is a firecracker. I remember watching him play at Florida State. There's a few guys that I distinctly remember at running back, watching live. Dalvin Cook and Todd Gurley, that when they came on the field in college, I was like, they're going to hand the ball off and this dude might score. They got 80 yards to go and this guy might break this thing for 80 yards at any point. And he can still do that at the NFL level, even with the speed.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, we talk about Kirk Cousins. Let's play a little of this or that. Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield?
Oh, man.
That tells you. I think most people.
You just asked me, do you like vanilla ice cream or do you like something a little more rocky? Something a little more pizzazz to it.
It's like, do you like vanilla or butter pecan? Let's be honest. Like, they're both mid-tier. Like, Kirk Cousins is fine when he wants to be and when it's not a primetime game.
He's efficient. 33 touchdowns, 7 INTs. He doesn't hurt you at all.
Yeah, I mean...
But is he going to go out there and win a game for you? That's the question. I don't think on this team he has to. I don't. I do think the new coach is a big factor, a big talking point.
Mike Zimmer was bad. Let's call it for what it is. Mike Zimmer was a bad NFL coach. But he's coming off a year. I mean, the last 4 years, he's been, between 66 and 70% completions, which is good. He's only had out of the last 3 years, only 1 year had double-digit interceptions. He's 6 interceptions 2 years ago, 7 last year. Kirk Cousins is what he is. He is going to make some mistakes. He is not the most accurate quarterback ever. He is not the clutchest quarterback ever. But he makes throws, and he's got a good receiving core. I'm with you, Scott. I love Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook can play 17 games, that's his biggest struggle, he finds a way to get dinged up and miss 4 games. But let's not forget, they've got a pretty nice backup. Alexander Mattison filled in really nicely for them last year. Obviously, he's not Dalvin Cook, but he was still sitting there at 4 yards a carry. The biggest thing with this team, it's 2 things. One is depth at wide receiver. Justin Jefferson, a very good wide receiver. Adam Thielen, I think we learned how good Adam Thielen was last year because when he got hurt last year, that team was totally different. But what do you have after that? KJ Osborne, former Michigan State product, Jalen Naylor, BZ Johnson. Like, who is your next wide receiver after that? We don't know. This offensive line, though, is a problem. PFF has them ranked to the 19th offensive line behind the New York Giants, which the New York Giants offensive line was literally New York subway turnstiles last year.
That's rough.
This line hinges on 2 things. Number 1 is the right side of the line. Ed Ingram and Brian O'Neill. What are they? We don't really know. These guys are kind of career in and out guys. They haven't been established starters. Can they do that? Number 2 is the development of Christian Darrisaw. If Darrisaw can develop into that left tackle, this line should be okay. Garrett Bradbury at center, I think, is a solid center. I would not say he's great, but he's a top 12 center. But Christian Darrisaw's development is a big deal for this team. That offensive line is suspect. And here's the thing. You can have Justin Jefferson running all the fly routes you want, but if you only have 2 seconds to throw the ball, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's got all this. He can beat you over the top, but you're right. It's going to be more drags and checkdowns. By the way, 8-9 a year ago, this was a team that lost a ton of close games.
Yeah, lost a lot of close games.
2-5 in close games.
And let's also point out, they made wholesale change. So not only do they bring in a new coach in Kevin O'Connell, they brought in a new GM in Kwesi from the Browns, Adofo-Mensah. Yep. And then their defense got reworked. They still got Daniil Hunter out there, who's a premier defensive end. They've still got Eric Kendricks out there at linebacker. They bring in Zadarius Smith from the Packers, which I love. I love that move. I think that's a fun move to bring in somebody from the division to come play. And then they go out and get a veteran corner in Pat Peterson, who is not what he used to be. But, man, Pat Peterson with Cam Dantzler, that cornerback room is interesting. They still got Harrison Smith at safety. This defense is weird. I call it a popcorn defense because some of these are pop kernels that I want to eat. I love Harrison Smith. I love Zadarius Smith. I love Daniil Hunter. And some of these guys, Harrison Phillips, Lewis, is it Cine? Lewis Sign? Like Jalen Twyman. Boy, there are some pieces out here that I go, who are you? So
Zadarius Smith added to this team.
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a pass rusher and a guy who can also, this is an interior linebacker. This is a guy that loved to shoot the gaps, was a guy that can get after the quarterback. But if you drop him back,
he knows the division too. Yeah. Coming from the Packers.
Knows the teams you're playing. This is a guy that can slide inside. This is a guy that can play outside, get after the quarterback, drop back. He's a versatile guy. He was 100% a cut factor of cap room in Green Bay because they've got a lot of pieces they need to sign.
I should have signed the wide receiver, but
also they have a bad kicker.
Yes.
Do not forget that. Greg Joseph. Browns cut him. He wasn't good with the Browns. He's not
Come
good.
on, Florida Atlantic is pumping out the great kickers of all time.
Greg Joseph, here's my memory of Greg Joseph from last year. Went to the Cardinals-Vikings game with a Vikings fan here in Arizona. Week 3, Greg Joseph steps up for a game-winner 28-yard field goal and misses it. So, good on you.
Yeah, from 28. That was not good.
Oof.
We're going to get to the win-loss game here soon, but I want to bring up those close losses again. Also, one of the intangibles I had for this team was last year, they faced the NFC West and the AFC North and was terrible in those games. They were 2-6. Actually played pretty well in the division. Finished at 8-9. I think, unlike Green Bay, I think their schedule is going to be their friend here. So I'm really interested in stepping through this and seeing what you think if they'll get better on offense, win some closer games. We assume Dalvin Cook stays healthy. And I think they improved. I think they're an improved team. And I assume they're going to break these 8 wins, but you never know until you get to it. And what a way to start the season. We just talked about it a couple of days ago when we did Green Bay. Green Bay Packers, September 11th. You host them at home. You got it. This sets the tone to the season, Nick.
By the way, I'm sorry, I'm doing my math here. Their combined games against Detroit, the score was 45-45. So that's cool. Good on you, Detroit. We said it on in our last show. I've got the Vikings winning this game. It's a home game. They're gonna be coming in fired up. Little revenge factor with Zadarius Smith. Excited to see that. Give me the Vikings in game 1.
They get an extra day to face the Eagles on Monday Night Football on September 19th.
This is an interesting game. Monday Night Football is Kirk Cousins' kryptonite. It literally is.
It's so true.
It's so true. It's in Philly. Give me the Eagles in this one. Give me Jalen Hurts to win this game at home. If this was any other time, I think it's more of a toss-up. But man, Kirk Cousins hate Monday Night Football. Give me Jalen Hurts and the Lincoln Financial Boo Birds.
6 days later, they got the Lions at home.
That's a win. I like them at home. Yeah. Not much to say there. They should beat the Lions.
They got to go to London the following week to face the New Orleans Saints. Talk about
Yeah.
a weird game.
A weird game. Another team we talked about a while ago, as we said, don't know much about this New Orleans team. But
They will have the advantage of the quarterback. I think Jameis Winston is better than Kirk Cousins.
I do too. I think the entire wide receiving core for the Vikings is better than the Saints. Again, who knows if Michael Thomas is playing? And remember, no Alvin Kamara for this game, so give me the Minnesota Vikings.
No, that is a huge point. So they moved to 3-1 to start the season. Then they host the Bears. What a great.
Yeah.
They got a bye week coming up here soon. This is a great little schedule to start the season.
Finally, a team with an earlier bye week, by the way.
Yeah,
4-1. They beat the Bears. Scott, I'm not looking forward to doing the Bears one.
It's going to be quick. It might be a 3-minute show.
Yeah.
And it might just be me saying Walter Payton's not walking through that door.
Where's Walter Payton? Hey,
3-14 next.
Yeah. Where's the fridge? Do we have any fridge? Can we just put a fridge on this field?
So not too bad. Sitting at 4-1, and you go down to South Beach before the bye week.
I don't remember who I said I had this game. This is a tough game.
Minnesota wins this game, and that's what you said when it was with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think Minnesota wins this game.
I think they're 6-1.
Yeah, I think this is a close game. I think this is a game that Miami could certainly win. I don't know if Pat Peterson and Cam Dantzler can keep up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but I think the biggest factor is they've got Danielle Hunter getting after the quarterback, and these linebackers are going to make them a tough game.
Now, I am taking Kirk Cousins over Tua.
I am too, and I am excited to watch here's the thing. This is the thing that's tough. If you look at the two main skill position groups for these two teams, who are you taking? The Minnesota wide receiving core of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, or the Miami cornerbacks in Xavier Howard and Byron Jones? To me, it's a wash. That is as even as it gets. So
Dalvin Cook's a huge X factor in this game.
So then you go the other way. Who are you taking? The wide receiving core of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, or the cornerbacks of 90-year-old Pat Peterson and Cam Dantzler? I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah,
so it's going to come down to which quarterback plays better. The Vikings have a better running back room. They're going to run the ball, I think, more with Dalvin Cook. Each team, I think the Vikings have a little better pass rush with Danielle Hunter. This is a good game.
They got and we talked about them adding Smith. You got to throw Eric Kendricks in there, and it's
Harrison Smith is a dog.
There's a lot of experience. What they maybe lack in prime time speed.
Yeah.
On that Vikings defense, they make up for it in experience because they got some All Pro selections on that team.
This is going to be a big test for Kevin O'Connell. This is a game that he's going to have to, I think, out-coach Miami by scheming for these two very fast players. But I'll say this, for a 1 p.m. game on an October Sunday,
I'm intrigued.
I hope this is the game I get to watch. I'm
intrigued.
This is going to be a fun game.
Yeah. So, if we go back to what you said against the Dolphins, I think they're 6-1 going into the bye week.
I do. Again, I think it's very possible they're 5-2, but 6-1 feels right. The London games are always toss-ups, and obviously we gave them that win over Green Bay. They could lose that for sure, but 6-1, yeah.
6-1 best case scenario, I think, at this point. Bye week, and then you're like, man, these guys what are they drinking over here? They got them at 6-1. Hold up, folks, because the schedule changes a little bit here after the bye week, and they start with the Cardinals. Hosting them at home on October 30th. One of the tougher teams to figure out, Nick, in the NFL. Yeah,
this team right here. I live here. I listen to news about them all the time. I still don't really know what to make of them. This is
you're gonna get 4 hours of film study going into this one.
Obviously, West-East travel for the little easier for teams going West-East than it is East to West, I think.
Yeah, and you're kind of Arizona to Minnesota. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The Cardinals will be coming off a home game against the Saints, so not exactly. They're not coming off some slobber knocker. This is an interesting game, and here's the thing. I've said outright, I am not a Cliff Kingsbury fan. I do not think he is a good coach. But I think the important thing is they're going to get DeAndre Hopkins in this game. D-Hop will be off a 6-game suspension. So you're going to have the 1-2 punch of D-Hop and Hollywood Brown. Honestly, one of the unsung running backs last year, James Conner was really good last year. I mean, he was on a team that didn't get a lot of shine. Kyler Murray will have his top target back. I like the Cardinals to pull out a win in this game.
On the road.
On the road, but this is a team that, let's also not forget, this is a defense for the Cardinals that does have J.J. Watt.
I don't know. I mean, Vikings coming off a bye week, Nick. I mean, I will just say this is a tough choice. This is a tough game to pick.
It's a coin flip. The Cardinals have the build to be good against the Vikings. They've got a great number 1 corner in Byron Murphy. They've got a good safety with Buda Baker to help out over the top. This is a team that can stop the run with J.J. Watt. They've got, a good linebacking core with Simmons and Collins. And I don't know what the Minnesota defense is going to do with Kyler Murray all over the place. I really don't. Could the Vikings win this game? Yes.
Sure.
Should they win this game? Yeah. I mean, it's a bye week with a home game. That's a nice setup. But I've seen let's remember that the Cardinals with Kyler Murray and D-Hop were stretching towards the number 1 seed in the NFC. And then D-Hop gets hurt, and that team took a dive off of a very high cliff.
Whoa.
But this team was very, very good last year with both those players. D-Hop is a unbelievable talent. Man, again, another game, Scott, that I am just excited to watch. So let's be clear. They were 9-2 last year. They were 9-2 going into the bye week. D-Hop got hurt, I believe it was in that Chicago game.
Yep.
And they lost 4 of 5. Or they lost, 4 or 5 to end the season. This is a 9-2 team who went out there and their lone loss.
You're talking about the best team in the NFC.
And
they laid an egg.
This is a team that beat the Rams at SoFi. 37-20. They beat the brakes off the Rams. They outclassed them the entire way. They are good with – if D-Hop wasn't in this game, I'm taking the Vikings. But with D-Hop, give me the Cardinals. And Cliff Kingsbury's –
he's one of the toughest guys to cover in the league.
Yeah.
One of the best route runners we got.
You talk another game, a 1 p.m. start on a Sunday, I will watch this game. Please and thank you. Thank you. Fox, you better give us this one.
So 6-2. They open up November at the Commanders.
A punch in the face. Goodbye, Carson Wentz. Have a great day. Carson Wentz sucks. Good for Terry McLaurin getting his money, though. Good for you, dog. Hell yeah.
7-2.
Yeah.
They go to Buffalo.
7-3. 7-3 indeed, my friend.
Yeah. I think it'll be
a good
tougher than you. I think it'll be a good game, but a game that Buffalo should be expected to win.
Should win. I sort of screams a touchdown win for me, barring awful weather. But again, you talk about a team that can handle Justin Jefferson. It's a team that's got Tre'Davious White out there. Assuming he is healthy and playing, that's a great 1-1 matchup. This Bills team has an offense that can keep up and a defense that can get stops. I like the Bills at home.
Remember our last show? They got to get to 13 wins,
yep.
or they could tie the Green Bay Packers and win, have the head-to-head. So they're sitting at 7-3, and they visit. Actually, Dallas comes to Minnesota.
This one's tough for me. Coming off that game in Buffalo. This is a game that I think Dallas has a really good shot to win. Yep. I do. And this may be a little bit of leaning. These are two teams, Minnesota and Dallas, who I know a lot of people are ragging on. It's the Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott of them all. Like, nobody likes them. Home game for Minnesota. But I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys in this game. I like Dallas. I think
I was trying to see who Dallas plays, who they play the week before.
The week before the Dallas Cowboys play at Green Bay. They both got tough road games beforehand. So nobody's coming into this game feeling good.
And you had the Cowboys winning at Lambeau.
Yeah. I think the Cowboys get here's why. We talked about this. The biggest factor is that 19th ranked offensive line. And who do the Dallas Cowboys have? They got Tank Lawrence coming after him and Micah Parsons. It's a tough 1-2 to hold up with a bad offensive line. I think the Cowboys defense are going to be the story of the season. I
hate giving the Cowboys wins, but I think you might be right. 7-4.
But coin flip this one, and that's a 4:30. That's going to be the marquee game on CBS. I'm excited to watch that game.
4 days later, November 24th, That must be. Is that a little Thanksgiving action?
Yeah.
Little Thanksgiving night. Everyone in a coma from all the turkey. They face the Pats. The Pats come to Minnesota.
Yeah, give me the Vikings in this one. Even with the 4 days rest, guess what? Patriots are also going to be coming off 4 days rest, so they're not going to be having fun. I mean, in fairness, they're coming off 4 days rest from playing the Jets, so it's basically 4 days rest from bye week. But it's Minnesota. It's in Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to be amped to win this game. I think coming off a tough game against Dallas, they're going to want to make a statement.
Yeah, especially if you lose back to back. If you lose to the Bills and Dallas, you kind of feel like your season might be slipping away.
Yeah. And again, New England's not bringing a wide receiving core that scares me. So, I think the defense can hold up, and give me the Vikings on Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So they're at 8-4, and they face the Jets. They moved to 9-4. Yeah, December 4th. Open up December. They host the Jets. They should take care of the Jets easily in that one. They go on the road to Detroit, and this is where the schedule gets really interesting, right? Because you're sitting at 9-4. You got a couple games left here, and you if you're trying to keep pace with Green Bay, you need them.
I did it last week. I'm gonna do it again. Give me the Detroit Lions in this one. I think this is a look-ahead game. This is a game that, by the way, the Lions were not good against the Vikings were not good against the Lions last year. Nope. They weren't, and the Lions were much worse last year.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of points to the Lions a year ago.
They do. I mean, Cousins 7-2.
They gave up a lot of points in general. I mean, we go back to that interesting thought, and one of the reasons they made the coaching change was they had a ton of times where they had, they were up by 6, 13. Like, they had these leads that they just let go. They can't do that this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Kirk Cousins has been historically pretty good against the Lions, 7-2 against the Lions in his career, 75% completion percentage. Like, he's been good against the Lions. But this is a Vikings team that's let easy games slip away, and I'm not going to give them an entire win-loss game without one stupid loss. This screams it, especially coming off a Thursday night game against New England and going into a game against Indy. This is that sandwich game that nobody wants to play. Give me the Lions in a close one in this one. Dan Campbell.
Flex game either on the 17th or 18th. They host the Colts.
Yep.
And I think the Colts are top tier, top class.
Talk about a game I want to watch. Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook. Thank you very much. Run the damn ball. This is a toss-up game to me, but I got the Colts winning this one. I
don't think it's a toss-up. I mean, we certainly give the Vikings a lot of respect. I think the Colts are really, really good.
I do too. I think this offense.
I think Matt Ryan, and I hate to say this, like Matt Ryan is like the thing they've been missing.
Yeah, I like the Colts in this one, and I'm excited. The Colts are the only team in the AFC South I'm excited to do the win-loss game with. I can't wait for it. But give me the Colts getting a big win. I think the Colts are going to be playing for stuff here. And that right there, it puts them at, 9
That's 10-4, right, with 3 games remaining?
Or
is that 10-5, or is that 9-5? So 9-5 with 3 games remaining. So 9-5, 3 games remaining.
They lose Detroit. They lose Dallas. They lose Buffalo, and the one before. Yep, 5 with Indy. Yep, 9-5. With
Indy, that's their 5th loss. Yep. So
9-5, and they need to get to 13 to win the division, and they've got 3 games left.
Well, and they do have Green Bay coming up.
They do.
But they on Christmas Eve they face the Giants on a Saturday.
Enjoy that win. I don't care that it's sandwiched between the Colts and the Packers. They're going to beat the pants off Daniel Jones.
So they moved to 10-5, 2 games remaining at Green Bay, at Chicago.
They're going to go 1-1 in this. They are. Yeah. I said last time I think Green Bay wins this game at home New Year's Eve. I think this is the schedules have matched up, Scott. This will be a for the division game, and we'll get into. I'd have to do the math on tiebreakers in the division. I think it's division record after that. They're both. Yep. I have them both with a loss to Detroit. I have them both beating Chicago. I have them splitting. They're gonna have the same division record, so it's gonna go to like common opponents, and that gets confusing. Yeah. But I got them splitting. Give me Green Bay, and then at that point they have to win against Chicago. The Vikings beat Chicago. I think the Packers and Vikings both are sitting there with 12 wins at the end of the year, and they're both in the playoffs.
That's why, I think that 12-win mark, it's got to be an earmark for both the Packers and the Vikings.
Yeah.
But like, if we can get to 12 wins, we got a serious shot to win the division.
For sure. I don't
like 10 wins. I don't think 10 wins is going to get it done.
It's about a 50-50 shot if they can win the division. 11 wins. I think 12 is you're going to win the division or at least be in the tiebreakers for the division.
Yeah, I mean, they played Green Bay in the first game. They got them the last game. It sets up for a division rivalry there. And we've given a lot of respect to Aaron Rodgers. Maybe more wins than maybe we should have given. What's your floor? What's the ceiling here with this team as far as win-losses go? How high can they get, and how bad can it get?
I think 12 is their ceiling. I don't think they get much above 12. We've given them some good wins out here. I don't see them getting to the 13-win mark. I think that offensive line's not quite good enough. This is a good team, though, and their defense and their wide receiving core is going to be what leads them there. I think their floor is 9. I think their floor is slightly higher than Green Bay's because I like their team a little more. And I like their schedule a lot more would be the big one.
Schedule a lot more. I mean, that's the only reason they're in this conversation.
Yeah,
it really sucks for them that they blew all those wins a year ago, but it's set up for a schedule that they maybe have a chance to win the division.
Yeah, I mean, I think a realistic floor is 9. I think the world is falling floor is probably 5 because we just don't know a lot about Kevin O'Connell if he's that guy. But it can't get much worse than Mike Zimmer.
No.
Right? Zimmer was awful. Like, he was just awful. But yeah, I think 9. I think this team will be at their floor around 500, which has sort of been the Vikings mantra. Just be around 500.
That's about where they've been.
But yeah, I think this Vikings team is good enough to compete. I think this is also a team to look for at the trade deadline to make a move to improve that offensive line. If there's somebody out there on a bad team that is looking to move a tackle, this could certainly be the destination because they could move Christian Darrisaw inside and trade for a tackle, and all of a sudden you have a much better offensive line.
It's my big concern for them. I think they will be better just with the schedule and with the coaching change. But I think they're going to face a lot of pressure, and I don't think they're going to create a lot of pressure, which in this NFL, that's sort of what it's about, stopping the pass rush and getting a pass rush. That could be their detriment.
2 primetime games. That's all they gave. Congrats, Kirk. You might be okay.
Yeah, the schedule's in their favor. There's no question about that. So we'll see what happens in that division. We'll be back next week. It will be the Lions and Bears. We might throw some other teams in there as we try to fit all 32 NFL teams into this before the September 8th kickoff.
Yeah, Lord knows, we might sandwich the Bears with the Texans and the and the Jaguars. And
I don't know if the Bears are that bad, but it's not good.
They might be. I mean, they don't have a win in the division so far. So
nope.
Oof.
I mean, their best chance to win is going to be versus Detroit. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And maybe Green Bay in just a rivalry kind of
end of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, the team we just did with the Vikings, it could be an inconsequential game. That final game of the year. You never know what's going to happen. They added this 17th game, and really all it's given us is meh. Are they going to sit their starters or not conversation. It's we need more coming down to the wire, which I think might happen in this division. That's the exciting thing. And certainly the Packers could be really bad this year. I mean, it could get ugly. It could get ugly for Green Bay. We'll continue through the NFC North as we move on. Scott Cole and Nick Bazesco, thanks for watching. Make sure you go out there and subscribe to our audio podcast where a majority of you listen. If you're listening to this on our audio podcast, come out and check out the video. See the beards, see the facial hair, see Nick's helmet collection.
Right there.
And see me looking eagerly to leave Texas in the heat behind.
You are so close, man. You are so close.
I'm getting close.
Cannot
wait. Cannot wait for the football season. We are just a few weeks away. Thanks so much for watching the show. Everybody out there that supports and sends us love, we send it right back to you. And we'll see you next time.